Hello and welcome to our coverage of this game between East Grinstead's men and Old Georgians, the final men's Premier Division game due to be played here at St Hill this season. And it's been a contrasting season for the two teams. East Grinstead have fought hard in their games in the top six since Christmas, but ultimately they've just come up short on a number of occasions, whereas Old Georgians have really excelled this season and find themselves just one win away from securing the title. And I am joined once again, as I was earlier today, by Ross Stott. Ross, how are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, I'm a little bit cold, but looking forward to the pizza to come around. But I think it should be an interesting game. Also, Old Georgians could win the league today, and we're obviously looking for that not to happen. But I mean, they've got quite a decent team. So it's going to be a tough game, but we'll see what happens.
Plenty of firepower on both sides, with East Grinstead boasting Jamie Wallace and Louis Gittins, who've both had brilliant seasons in front of goal. And where you look down the list for Old Georgians, and they've got goal scorers pretty much everywhere, even with a couple absent on international duty. So expect probably plenty of goals in this one. And Ross, from a player's perspective, you're coming up against a team that's trying to wrap up the league today. How would you be approaching this one if you were out there?
I think just like any other game, really. You also go out there to win, and if it's to stop them winning the league, then it's an extra bonus. But I think for EG, there's no pressure on them whatsoever. So last home game, I'm sure the boys will give everything they have and look to cause an upset and stop Old Georgians winning the league today.
I mean, if there is a good omen, Old Georgians have played 4 of their games so far this season on Saturdays, and they've only dropped points on 2 occasions throughout the entire season, and both of those were on Saturdays as well. So there's something that hopefully will ring true once again today as we get closer to pushback at the start of this one. Great to see the crowd once again building up, pizza vans around, trumpets, drums. Should be a great atmosphere. Hockey under the lights is always special, and we're getting ready for this one here at St Hill. Just approaching pushback here at this one. Sun still just about doing the rounds, but certainly not bathing the pitch in any sunlight. It's another cold spring evening here as we get ready for Old Georgians facing the hosts East Grinstead in this one. From an East Grinstead perspective, several seasoned, experienced campaigners out there today, but no Nick Catlin, who, alongside wife Susie, recently welcomed a young child into the world. So congratulations to the both of them, and hopefully we've got another young hockey star in the making right there. Hopefully he's watching on from home today as well, although I'm sure he'll probably be quite busy with other matters, to be fair to him. Of course, Ross not quite ready in terms of fitness for this one. Are you disappointed not to be out there for this game?
Yeah, always disappointed not to play, but especially this game, after the last time we played them, the last time I played them was that 9-0 defeat when our goalie got knocked out. So it would be nice to play against some of these players, but yeah, a bit disappointed. But I mean, I think it's just a bit old age catching up on me as well, to be honest. I think I've played one game the second half of this season, so we'll see how much longer I've got left in my body. But yeah, also the boys are going to miss Cat, but I think he's got a fair enough reason for not playing today. I think we'll let him off with that one.
You mentioned there the 9-0 game earlier this season. Of course, the last meeting between these two teams was only a few weeks ago at Old Georgians. It was a 3-0 win for Georgians on that occasion, but 3 goals that came quite late on. East Grinstead held them firm, and I guess that's been the pattern of play. Last time we were commentating together was the Hampstead game, when East Grinstead held firm for a long way through that. I guess heading towards next season as well, it bodes well that you are for large periods of the game giving these top teams a run, and you're not at full strength as well.
Yeah, also we've been disappointed with conceding so many late goals, but as you said, I don't think we've had a full strength team all year. So it's been quite good that we have competed, but I think just the legs now have kind of let us down in the last quarter and the last couple of games. But I say, like, today we've got nothing to lose. The last home game, so I'm hoping that everyone will kind of leave everything on the pitch as the flares are set off by the EG faithfuls here.
Yeah, the flares are going, the crowd are chanting, the trumpets and the drums are out, and we are underway for Old Georgians away to East Grinstead with early possession there for Dan Faulkner.
There's also Josh Barrett's making his Premiership debut today, which is another exciting young product from the AG youth system. He's definitely a player to keep your eye on. He's got some incredible hands and is extremely fast. I think we've played more games this year, but I think, like the story of our season, injuries have played a big part in his season this year.
He'll be wearing number 3 for East Grinstead today, so we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for him as first opportunity to see Old Georgians on the ball. And out on this right-hand side, Lee Morton into Dan Shingles, wearing the captain's armband today. He goes to fire a cross in. It's cut out by Faulkner and is out for a long corner. Morton will take it. Recently called up to the Great Britain programme on a full-time basis, so congratulations to him. Here's Kyle Marshall, Irish international. Ball forward there towards Tom Carson, scorer of 13 goals this season and a lethal threat from corners. He can bring that under control, and chance for East Grinstead to break there, and just evading Jamie Wallace there. That long aerial forward. Wallace has had a brilliant season, his first for East Grinstead. 13 goals for him as well this season. Jackson to Proctor. Early touch for him. Carson under pressure from Faulkner. Long corner goes the way of Old Georgians. That was Ed Carson, one of 3 on display today for Georgians. Meanwhile, here's number 2, Andy Bull, towards the circle. Touched on by Proctor, but well wide of the goal. A lively start from the visitors, and also a lively start from the crowd as well, which is great to see. Fantastic to have some atmosphere and some partisan home support.
Yeah.
That's a loose pass, and Ali Cliff can't keep it in, so a long corner to Georgians once again. Shingles into Morton. Morton in towards the circle, touched on by James Carson. I think that was an early save there by Curtis.
Yeah, I think EG faithful have been looking forward to this home game for a long time, since the last time we played. I think they've had a bit of banter with the OG fans on Twitter the last couple of months. So yeah, they've been prepared for this one as much as we have.
Always nice to see 2 rival sets of fans though, having some Light-hearted banter, shot on the spin from Carson is really well saved by Curtis once again. That's 2 early shots for the Welshman. Saved by the South African goalkeeper there. Here's Ed Carson. Ball hits Clift, who's been very busy early on. Morton will take this long corner once again. Scottish international seen plenty of it so far as well. Passes it in towards Proctor, the ball bounces up. Curtis out to smother with his hands. Mackie wins the free hit and a chance for Surbiton to escape the pressure they've been under, and Emmett now into the path of Wallace. Wallace looking to get past one. Shingles comes back and does well. Prosser there in the right place, but unfortunately it seemed to have hit the foot. It's the chance. Go up. Here's Kyle Marshall. Pizza has just arrived. Here are Old Georgians with Mawson across to Carson, and that's over the top of the crossbar. And for a man of his calibre, he really would have wanted to have put that one in the net. That's the 3rd opportunity for the Welshman in this game. And that one sailed over the top of the crossbar. Early chances for Old Georgians. But East Grinstead holding firm so far as Panesar gets it into Emmett. Prosser will take this free hit for East Grinstead. Emmett gets the ball into the circle and it goes all the way through. Panesar claiming a touch, but nothing doing according to the umpire. Old Georgians building from the back once again. Here's Henry Weir. Former England and Great Britain international. Shingles to Morton. Ed Carson. Panesar does well there to stop him going further forwards. And he's now forced to retreat. Ed Carson. Bull. East Grinstead holding a good press here. Just halting Old Georgians from going forwards, and Gittins does well to intercept that one. Now into the path of Mackie, a chance for an East Grinstead attack. Mackie out to the right towards Hatherley. Plays it back to Captain Faulkner. Dan Faulkner, that is. He fires it in towards the circle, touched on almost by Emmett. And just as Wallace wins it back, a free hit is given the other way. Banter's certainly kicking off in the stands. Ball into Jackson. Weir across to Marshall. Ed Carson seeing plenty of the ball early on. Shingles can't quite control it, can Nick Page, and that goes behind for an East Grinstead ball. Clift. Dan Faulkner, East Grinstead just looking to get out of their own half, have a period of possession, which they haven't quite been able to do so far. Mackie. Mackie under pressure. Free hit goes the way of the visitors, Old Georgians. Had those 3 big chances early on, all from James Carson. 2 saved by Curtis and the other one ballooning over the crossbar. Marshall now switch sides. Ball in towards the circle. Free hits given the way of East Grinstead there. James Tyndall, who's been lethal in front of goal this season. Giving away that free hit. It's Faulkner. Lovely turn there by Ollie Lander, one of many youngsters on the pitch today, and his Samad Suleiman trying to feed Finn Boothroyd, I believe that was. Clift. Nice ball in towards Boothroyd. Can he bring it under control just about before it goes out of play? Ball across. No one there from East Grinstead to pick it up, and a chance for Page to bring it clear for Old Georgians, which he does so in combination with Marshall before Hatherley touches that one out. And it's an Old Georgians sideline ball. Jackson. Lovely skill once again by Morton. Such a skillful player. Gets it back from Page. Racing in towards the edge of the circle well. A cut across by Faulkner, much to the delight of the EG faithful. Some good chants going on early on in this game. Several Old Georgians players copying it. Henry Weir now across to Marshall. Quite a fluid backline for Old Georgians, players interchanging positions throughout this first quarter. Here's Shingles. Back to Andy Bull. Bull into the path of Marshall. East Grinstead holding firm, not making it easy, and that ball goes astray. So after those initial dangerous moments for Old Georgians, East Grinstead have really tightened up in defence and made the visitors' lives difficult. Still 0-0 here. Just over 10 minutes gone in this game. So Elliot Messam there, trying to win the ball back off Panesar alongside Chris Proctor, but Panesar manages to get a deflected ball forwards, does the Canadian international. And we're tidying up at the back for Georgians. Ashley Jackson, lovely pass there into Page. Page's pass forwards hits Emmett's foot. Here is Ashley Jackson once more. Lovely aerial ball. It's the back post towards Morton, but much to the delight of the East Grinstead fans, and I believe one of them is his brother. Nothing doing there. Ashley Jackson, from the sounds of it, subject to one or two of those East Grinstead chants early on, although I'm sure it's nothing he would not have expected. Mackie, under some pressure, does well to find Hatherley on this right-hand side. Ball into the path of Suleiman, touches it on. Boothroyd just not able to get there in front of Bull. And now Morton with the opportunity to run forwards. Morton into Tyndall. Another chant there for Ashley Jackson. You may or may not be able to hear on the commentary. All good-natured. Here he is. Bull, looking for options ahead of him. Plays it straight into the foot of Gittins. Bull now take this free hit. Jackson with the aerial once again. Just too much on it for Shingles. I get the feeling that Ashley Jackson's not going to be able to make a mistake in this game without someone in the crowd having a go. Possession ceded to East Grinstead. Yet to have a shot on target themselves in this game, but they are growing into it. Panesar has some room to move down the left and just can't control the pass from Gittins. And there we see Josh Barrett making his Premier League debut, just unable to keep that one in play. Jackson across to Weir. Jackson now. Bull. Kyle Marshall. Both he and Bull were in action at the World Cup qualifiers back in October in Cardiff. That event saw Wales's men famously qualify for their first ever World Cup. And Proctor going in towards the circle, gets a shot off. whilst falling to the floor, and a foul committed just outside of the circle. Shingles taking that free hit quickly. Almost goes 5 and then wins the penalty corner off the foot. So the first set piece of the game for the visitors, 11 minutes in. First real opportunity for a good few minutes here for Old Georgians. No Sam Ward today, of course on international duty for England, who drew 3-3 with India, I am led to believe, in their Pro League matchup earlier today. But Old Georgians have certainly got plenty of attacking threat still from penalty corners. One of whom is Ashley Jackson, who sort of made an international career out of scoring stunners. Tom Carson, 13 goals to his name this season, also lining up. Would be weird to inject some more good-hearted banter coming out from the fans there. Great to see. The ball comes back to Carson, flicks low and scores. He's done it again, has Tom Carson. The flick was low and it just squeezed in between Curtis and Prosser on the goal line. And Old Georgians have the lead in this one. Gittins taking the restart. That's be a disappointment there for East Grinstead, because after those couple of hairy minutes early on, they'd really held firm until that corner was awarded. And here's Josh Barrett looking to make his first impression on the game, and East Grinstead looking to try and find an immediate way back into it, win the free hit, which Hathley will take. Prosser instead takes over, passes it in towards Wallace. Wallace with a lovely ball into the circle, cut out there by the goal scorer Tom Carson. Old Georgians with a chance to bring it clear, winning the free hit as well. Andy ball to Kyle Marshall. Lovely pass towards James Carson. It breaks towards Tom Carson, unmarked. Lays it back across. Sliding finish comes in by Ed Carson. The brothers combining brilliantly there. And just like that, Old Georgians have a 2-0 lead. Ball played forward there by Bull, aerially, slightly fortuitous touch on by James Carson. Found its way to Tom, who slid it across to Ed. And that's Old Georgians 2, East Grinstead 0. 2 goals there in quick succession for the visitors. Real hammer blow to the hosts. As we enter the final minute or so of this opening quarter. I am rejoined by Ross. What do you make of that?
To be honest, I wasn't really watching much of it. I was just eating my pizza. But 2 quick goals by OGs, and it's kind of not a really great time to concede as well, like so close to the end of the quarter. But I think EG will be happy how they've played. They've really kept OGs quite quiet considering who they've got on their team. But yeah, no, I think they'll be disappointed conceding those 2 goals. But overall, I think they'll be quite pleased with the performance so far.
Here's Mackie. Mackie into Prosser. First sighting of Gurmuk Bamra on the ball today. Mackie in towards the circle. Barrett was lurking. It just didn't quite make its way through to him. Proctor with a chance to bring it clear as the whistle goes. We are at the end of the first quarter. almost ready to go then for the second quarter of this one. Indeed, we are underway with Old Georgians 2-0 up. Plenty of time for East Grinstead to get themselves back into this one. Gittins trying to inject some pace into the game for East Grinstead, winning the sideline ball, which Bamra will take into Mackie. Bamra once again down this left-hand side under pressure from Morton. Lovely interchange. Oh, it's just deemed to have hit a foot or a back stick there because it was lurking dangerously, was Ollie Lander. Ball forward there into the path of Elliot Messam. Dan Faulkner shepherds him out of play. Ross, from an EG perspective, what would you be looking for them to achieve at the start of the second quarter?
To be honest, I think just doing what they were doing and kind of like hold OGs out as long as they can, and if they get a chance, then just take it. But it's difficult as I think we're missing like 6 regular players, so it's quite difficult. And also with the caliber of players that OGs have acquired over the last couple of years, it does make it difficult. But yeah, I think they'll just be trying to do what they're doing in the first quarter and stick to the game plan, really.
Morton spinning, turning, past 2. Out comes Curtis. Free hit given just outside the circle. Here is Morton. Ball touched on by Page, but cut out by Hathaway, and under pressure. Free hit is actually given to Old Georgians for a previous infringement. Morton, oh, that's ridiculous. That's so good. What a goal that would have been. The shot is saved. Comes back to Carson, deflected across. Messam fires it wide. Via a deflection. But Morton there showing just ridiculous skill, really, for fashioning a chance out of almost nothing. Here's Page trying to do the same, but cut out.
Yeah, I think Lee Morton has got some incredible hands and skills. Also, I remember him when I was at Kilburn, and he was a youngster coming through, and even at a young age you could tell he was going to be a talent. And it's about time that he's kind of getting recognised in the GB setup. He's probably one of the best attacking players there is, I would say.
Yeah, certainly the potential to unlock any defences. East Grinstead were looking to force an attack of their own there, but free hit given to Old Georgians. Very comfortable in possession are the visitors. To just knock it about, try and work some space. Here comes Mackie trying to disrupt things. Page manages to win the ball back off Wallace. Morton, lovely piece of 3D skills to get away from Prosser, but Dan Faulkner reads it and cuts out the danger. Here is Prosser once again, winning the free hit. Captain, or co-captain of that Welsh squad, going to their first ever World Cup next January. Clift. Ali Clift with a nice ball forwards, but intercepted by Ashley Jackson. Once again finding Morton. The ball switched to the left-hand side. Weir brings it back into Marshall and then Bull. Lovely aerial ball forwards. Chris Proctor, former England and Great Britain under-21 player. That hits the leg of Clift, and it's the second corner of the game to Old Georgians.
Yeah, a bit of a soft corner to give away from Mike. This ball just bouncing off his stick and onto his foot. Also, you don't really want to give any corners away, not one as easy as that.
Scored from there first with Tom Carson squeezing the ball between Curtis and Prosser on the post. Can they score from their second one, or will East Grinstead keep it out? Once again, it'll be Weir to inject, it looks like. Ashley Jackson in there. Dan Shingles, Lee Morton. James Tyndall as well. Looks primed and ready. James Tyndall, who rather roguely took part in Masters cricket tournament alongside the likes of Kevin Peterson and ex-England cricketers a few months ago. It is Tyndall, goal! Brilliant finish. What a strike that was. As clean as he'd hit a crisp drive through the covers. Tyndall scores, and it's 3-0 to Old Georgians. Plenty of work for East Grinstead to do in this one. He takes the free hit quickly, it's deflected on, and Wallace trying to bring it down, can't quite bring it under control. James Cunningham can bring it clear. Shingles, lovely pass into Proctor. Proctor with Tyndall ahead of him in the circle, cuts back in to a more central position, and there's no way past Faulkner there.
Yeah, this is something that Ejo need to stop doing, is getting into a running game with OGs. It's not how we like to play hockey, it's not what we would want to do, so I think we need to just keep control of the ball for a little bit, a period of time, and not get into an end-to-end running game, because I think that would suit OGs a lot more than us.
Faulkner into Panasar, takes a heavy first touch, wins the ball back though. Samad Suleiman gets it into Gittins. Now Prosser, there's just no time on the ball for East Grinstead unless they come back to these defensive positions. Faulkner goes for the attempted aerial, which Morton half cuts out, but it's East Grinstead's possession on this left-hand side. Wallace using his strength well to keep out Weir. Into Gittins, the two have linked up well so far this season. Gittins is fouled, wins the free hit, which Wallace will take. Plays it back to Prosser. Prosser enters the circle. Wallace trying to give himself a shot, but it's well charged down and it's out for a long corner. Bamra passes it on to Prosser to take. Prosser happy to go back towards his halfway line at Mackie. Bamra, Suleiman making a good run ahead of him, but tracked. Clift sauntering forwards. Bamra. Suleiman. To Old Georgians place for company, tries to get down the baseline and wins a long corner. Prosser. Just no way through right now for East Grinstead. Old Georgians holding very firm. Mackie. Into Prosser. Lovely interchange with Mackie. Appealing for a corner, nothing given. And in the end, a free hit goes the other way.
I think the umpire missed one, and that was definitely a corner. But I was much better by EG there, keeping the ball and moving it around. Unlucky not to get the short corner there, but that's what we need to do a bit more on, just keep the ball like that.
Despite the scoreline, the UG fans still in fantastic voice. The drums going. It's a cracking atmosphere here as the sun sets. The floodlights start to take more of an effect.
As I said before, it's probably a little bit biased, but being at EG and playing at St Hill is probably the best atmosphere I've played in England so far. And it is a privilege to be a part of a club with the support that we have. And no matter how well or how poorly the team's doing, the fans are always behind us and encouraging, and it's always great to see them out.
They definitely enjoyed the awarding of that free hit to the hosts. I think they'll cheer every decision that goes the way of East Grinstead as well, which is fantastic really to see. Back on the pitch. East Grinstead trying to work themselves out of a bit of a corner down this left-hand side, but Georgians once again able to steal the ball back. Ashley Jackson there winning the sideline, which Morton takes, dances away from one, taking down Emmett. Emmett forces him to check back. Jackson into Marshall. Marshall with the aerial in towards the circle, but no one's going to get on the end of that. And it goes straight out. The EG fans even have a chant for head coach Dave Beckett. Great to hear.
They did say they were preparing very well for this game, so it sounds like they've come with some new songs.
Prosser will take this free hit that he won. Back to Clift, who's just tying his shoelaces, but all seems to be sorted now. Faulkner with a burst forwards into the opposing half. Taken down, and eventually the free hit is given his way. Ankles were clipped on his way through. Panesar now into Suleiman. No clear chances just yet for East Grinstead, but they're certainly growing into this one. That third goal coming from Tyndall from the corner would have somewhat hurt a little bit, given that they're certainly working their way back into this one. Still a long way to go though. Holland with the free hit. Now Mackie. Holland trying to get the cross in. Goes behind. Off an old Georgian stick, so it's a long corner. Prosser to his right. Into Faulkner. Faulkner gets past Ed Carson. Shot comes in. Shot is blocked by an old Georgians defender, and now they've got the opportunity to break. It's the Carson trio. Ed.
It's good work back there by EG though, slowing them down, which is good. But that's a great chance we had. That's what we need more of, just taking those chances. But it's much better from EG here.
5 minutes, just more than 5 minutes to go in this first half. Cliff doing really well there to track back, and does concede the long corner, but it could have been so much worse if he'd allowed a shot to get away. Shingles. Lovely aerial across to Mawson, but just unable to control it. It's the Scottish international, and it goes behind. Slight delay in play here, just as Cliff sorts his laces out once again. Faulkner now, the long aerial forward towards Suleiman, but can't quite find its target. Much more even affair this quarter, just the one goal in it, that coming from a corner. Great atmosphere still as Ashley Jackson does really well to get away from one. Morton with some space to run into towards the circle, placing a dangerous cross, is deflected on. But well saved by Curtis, still alive with Tom Carson, goes to shoot on the spin. Hits the foot of Panesar, and we have another corner for Old Georgians. Two corners, 2 goals so far for the visitors. East Grinstead will certainly be hoping they don't make it a hat-trick from the set piece. They've certainly played a lot better in the second quarter of East Grinstead. Had a couple of chances of their own. Reduced Old Georgians really just the shots from set pieces, but they're still shots at goal. What can they do from this one? Where to inject once again. Tom Carson and Jackson at the top of the circle. Comes back. Tom Carson goes low once again. Saved! No, it's not. It's Prosser's deflected it up, but he can't quite get it away. And it's another goal for Tom Carson. His second, Old Georgians fourth. The gap between the two teams on the scoreboard grows once again. Prosser with a valiant attempt there on the line to keep it up. I think he deflected it up into his face mask, and that's what deflects the ball beyond Curtis, so very unlucky for East Grinstead. Still just under 3 minutes to go in this first half. A chance for East Grinstead to get themselves on the scoreboard as Barrett just unable to get that one under his control, but wins it back into Wallace. Tom Doran there, former captain of Old Georgians. wins his side the free hit. Bully, affectionately known by the fans as Bully anyway, into Marshall. Here is Bull. Cross to Jackson. Marshall once again, old Georgians just happy to knock it about. East Grinstead aren't pressing too high up the pitch.
I still think it's quite amazing that Bailey didn't get as many England or GB caps. For me, he's one of the best defenders that has played in the Premiership. And it's just a shame I never got a chance, but also now playing for Scotland, which has also helped him massively. But
I was going to say England and Great Britain's lost Scotland's game.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's. I just don't understand the whole how you didn't get the games or selected. But as you said, England's lost Scotland's game, so yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah, certainly played well when I watched him at the World Cup qualifiers back in Cardiff. And to be fair, the Scotland team did play well in 2 of the 3 games, just unlucky in the one that really mattered for them. Here's James Carson, who conversely had a great time at the World Cup qualifiers, part of the Welsh team that, as mentioned previously, reached their first ever World Cup, which will take place in just a few months' time now. Exciting moment for them. Lander under pressure does really well, but wins the free hits, just as old Georgians looks to have got that one back. Is there a chance for East Grinstead to get themselves on the score sheet before this first half is out? Less than 2 minutes to go. Lovely turn by Wallace, provider of so many great moments for East Grinstead so far this season, including the all-important hat-trick in the last game before Christmas that secured the team's place in the top 6. Very privileged to commentate on that game. Lovely skill by number 19 Lander. His pass couldn't quite find the Canadian Wallace, and Jackson brings it away. Tom Carson, scorer of 2 goals so far today, taking himself up the goal-scoring charts in the Premier League. Final few moments. Indeed, the final moments of the first half, and it's all old Georgians. 2 goals for Tom Carson, 1 for Ed Carson, and 1 for James Tyndall sees them lead 4-0 at the first 10-minute interval. Nearly ready to resume action here at Saints Hill. If you missed it in the first half, old Georgians are 4-0 up, courtesy of 2 goals from Tom Carson, 1 from Ed Carson, and a sumptuous penalty corner from James Tyndall. As things stand, old Georgians would clinch the title with this victory here today. Still a long way to go in this one, and EG roared on by a pretty vociferous home support will want to get their names at least on the score sheet in this second half as we get things underway. And it's nice that it's nearly 7 o'clock at night and still good daylight. It's just a shame it's not 10 degrees warmer. I'm joined once again by Ross Stott. Ross, what did you make of the second quarter of the opening half?
Yeah, I think AG got back into the game. They were controlling it for a period of time. Just conceding cheap short corners, and also the flickers that OG has, you can't really afford to do that. But they're a bit disappointed that the score's 4-0, but they could take a lot from that second quarter and hopefully progress a bit more in this second half and hopefully get on the score sheet. That'd be ideal.
Chances for old Georgians were certainly limited in that second quarter. I can only think of a couple of half attempts really other than those 2 corners. East Grinstead will be hoping to have a couple of shots of their own. Meanwhile, they've got some defending to do here as Ed Carson was looking dangerous but neatly cut out by the East Grinstead defence, and an opportunity for Wallace to bring it clear. Deep in his own half though, and free hit goes the way of the visitors, which is taken quickly by Tyndall, but Lander is across. Reads the game. And opportunity once again for old Georgians as Wallace can't keep it in, and Chris Proctor back to Jackson. Bull to Marshall. Marshall to Henry Weir, operating down this left-hand side. Under pressure from Gittins and conceding the free hit to the East Grinstead player. Didn't particularly enjoy that decision, did Henry Weir? Panesar, long, raking ball forwards. Cut out by Marshall, and he had to get there because Emmett was lurking behind him. As another flare goes off from the home supporters. Georgians started firmly on the front foot in this second half, looking to increase their lead. Marshall. Back to Weir. Weir into the path of Proctor shoots on the reverse, but it's off the back stick. A chance for East Grinstead to just settle down, get control of the ball, but not with passes like that. Unfortunately, Lander couldn't bring it under control. Possession ceded to the visitors once again.
I think AG just need to, when they have the ball, just take their time and value a bit more. I think we're trying to play too quick and it's playing into OG's hands, so like that last 16. Just take their time and have the ball for a period of time like they did in the second quarter.
Dan Shingles, captain of the team today. His ball forward is deflected behind for a long corner. Should be taken by Bull. We're across to Marshall, and now it's Jackson. Jackson's pass forward cut out by Lander. Now a chance for Panesar to attack down this left-hand side, and Emmett, but charging back is Tyndall. Great energy there from the forward. Georgians once again in possession and just controlling things at the moment. East Grinstead struggling to really get a grip on the game as things stand. Jackson with a brilliant pass. Touched on now into the path of Proctor. Proctor lays it back off to Ed Carson. Couldn't quite bring it under his spell, and East Grinstead managed to win the sideline ball there. Very new rivalry between these two teams. Only the 5th time they've met since Old Georgians were promoted to the Premier Division a couple of seasons ago. Certainly off the field between the fans and on Twitter, there's a great rivalry developing between the two clubs. I think Ben Mackey has been given a card for East Grinstead. We're not quite sure what colour it was or what it was for, but East Grinstead are temporarily down to 10 players. Lovely pass there by Faulkner, finds Suleiman in some space. He's got Finn Boothroyd ahead of him. Suleiman plays it into the Canadian. Old Georgian bodies flooding back. Possession still with the hosts though, as it comes back to Prosser. Lander to Faulkner, to Clift. Does well to get away from one player, just about keeps it in. Neat turn there by Lander. Had a good few minutes at the start of this second half as the youngster. Hathley smashes the ball in towards the circle, brought under control by Jackson. Chance for Old Georgians to break, still with a player advantage. Not in too much of a hurry to make the most of it right now though. Already 4-0 ahead and on the way to securing their first ever men's Premier Division title. Jackson, long aerial forward. Controlled well on the baseline by Tyndall, but Hathley's in the right place at the right time to intercept. Prosser using his experience to win the free hit. And a chance for East Grinstead to spring an attack. Wallace, one player ahead of him. Lovely ball across, and it just goes in between Suleiman and Boothroyd. Was a nice pass from Wallace. Just didn't quite find a player. Just half chances for East Grinstead.
Seem to be doing a bit more attacking since they went down a player, which is ironic. But hopefully when they get back to 11, which they are now, they could attack a bit more and get more of an outcome.
Wallace, his pass is intercepted by Shingles. Tom Carson, they're just forced to check back as they look to break. Does win the free hit though off Hathley. 10 minutes to go in this third quarter. Still Old Georgians 4-0 up. Morton looking to see if he can spark to life another goal. Cliff though in the right place to intercept that cross. Takes a blow to the head for his troubles, but seems to be okay, which is good to see. And it appears that East Grinstead are also back up to a full complement as well. Mackey has returned after his, what must have been a yellow card. Still none the wiser as to what it was actually for. Must have been an off-the-ball incident. Lovely pass into Lander. Oh, it turns away as well from his man. Certainly an impressive performance this from Lander. Faulkner spinning away from Tom Carson. Gets it into Prosser. Prosser looking for players ahead of him. Luke Holland trying to get on the end of it. It's taken out by George Pinner and the stroke is awarded. A very, very unnecessary piece of goalkeeping you feel there by Pinner, because the ball's a long way away from both attacker and goalkeeper, but Holland, to his credit, continued with his run and was taken out by the OG's keeper.
I have no idea what Pinner was thinking there. There was literally no need for him to go to ground because Luke Holland was nowhere near getting the ball, and he just gave away a stroke for some stupid decision that he... No idea what he was going through his head there. Interesting.
Again, a good play from Holland just to keep going, never give up. And a chance for Jamie Wallace to score once again for East Grinstead. Wallace Grinstead against Old Georgians. Wallace, it's wide. It's wide. Disappointment there for East Grinstead, a chance to register themselves on the score sheet, but Wallace has been so reliable in front of goal this season. Just fires it too far wide. So we resume, still 4-0 to the visitors, just over halfway through this third quarter here at St Hill. Atmosphere building all the time. Home crowd, as Ross alluded to earlier, supporting their team, whatever happens. It's great to see, great to hear. Love to see more of it across the country as well.
Yeah, most definitely. It's what club hockey needs, is more of a fan base, shall we say, and more interaction with the fans as well. But as I said, there's not many clubs that have this. I mean, I think there's only like 2 or 3 other clubs that have people, that fans come down in the Korean atmosphere. There's far too many clubs that, to be quite honest, it's quite boring to play at because there's no atmosphere. Like the uni teams, obviously, they give you a bit of stick and a bit of banter during the games, and obviously we do. But other than that, there's not really much atmosphere at any other clubs, which is disappointing, really.
Thomas Doran. Now Tom Carson. Carson going for a pretty outrageous ball across to his brother there, which was cut up by an East Grinstead player and poured away by Richard Curtis. James Carson there lifting the ball too high, conceding the free hit. Down full. So going with Bamra as well to control that. Onto Prosser. And now Mackie, as East Grinstead continue to grow into this game and become more of an attacking threat. Gittins. Quiet game so far. Henry Weir there to tidy up his attempted pass forward, and now sets off Morton. Morton running at pace. Boothroyd doing really well to keep up with him. Morton gets it away now to James Carson. Atherley does well to track back, get the tackle in. Still with the Old Georgians forwards. Well read there by Bamra, who's gone down in a spot of pain. A bit worrying to see. Play has been stopped. Yes, he receives a bit of treatment, and physio is called on. Obviously, not great to see. We do hope he's okay, but it was a great bit of defending as well. Plenty of noise here, still coming from the crowd. The night is yet young for them, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's a long night ahead. I think there's a few things planned for after the game as well. I think they might be going out to London if they could make it out. But yeah, it's always great to have this. But yeah, just going back to Lee Morton, I'm glad it was Finn Boothroyd chasing him and not me, because I think I would have done my own hamstring. Because Lee is not the slowest, and Finn is fairly quick himself. So that was a good little risk there.
Play set to resume here. Bamra has been helped off the pitch. He is walking with some assistance, so we hope it's not too serious and he's back very, very soon. Meanwhile, the game continues here as the sun just makes one final appearance, you feel, for the day on the St Hill pitch, as Emmett attacking there. Would have won the advantage played, but ball comes back for the free hit, and Mackie does well. Gets it into Emmett, but can't quite bring it under his control. Mackie wins himself a free hit. There's a bit of support goes across the pitch to Panesar. Panesar with options, just takes it down the left-hand side. Gets the ball back across towards Wallace. It's stopped on the line. Appeals for a corner. Quite vociferous appeals for a corner. Nothing given just as yet. The umpire's consulting. Players lined up for a long corner. And that's what has been given. Much to the disappointment of plenty around. The umpire's still consulting.
It's got to be a short corner. The OG player literally flicked off his own player in the D. And he's given a long corner. Ah, there we go, finally.
Decision changed. Decision changed. Short corner has been awarded. The first for East Grinstead today.
Yeah, I think if that didn't get changed then, I think there might have been a riot going on here. But I just don't understand how the umpire cannot see that when he's like 5 yards away from the ball and he's saying he can't see it. It's a bit worrying, to be honest with you. And it's stuff like that gets players frustrated because it's literally in front of the umpire and they say they can't see it. It's like, what are you watching? If you're not watching the ball, what are you looking at? But yeah, thankfully it's being corrected.
First opportunity from a short corner for East Grinstead in this game. Wallace and Mackie at the top of the circle look like the most likely candidates. Wallace, of course, had that penalty stroke that missed the target a few minutes ago. The way the sun's shining, George Pinner may have the sun in his eyes as well, which won't help him too much. Faulkner to inject. Faulkner, it comes back. It's Jamie Wallace. It's wide. It's a nice height, just above the backboard, but wide of the goal again from the Canadian. Two big chances for him in this quarter. East Grinstead will feel aggrieved to have not got themselves on the scoreboard. They've certainly had the better of this quarter as well. It's been a much improved performance once again. Getting better as each minute goes by in this game are the hosts. Against what is a very, very strong Old Georgians outfit. They've got 4 players away on international duty, but still there's so much talent in this squad. One of whom here, Ashley Jackson, was selected in the FIH World 11 of the year. Ball comes across there dangerously. Curtis thought about coming to collect, but let it go out instead. Faulkner, the long ball forwards, looking for Wallace. But Jackson was there in the way and tidied up the danger, as he's done all day. Very impressive performance once again by Ashley Jackson. Ball comes across to Weir. It's the path of Jackson. Slight miscontrol there, but under no pressure can tidy up. Ball into Shingles. Morton. Been a little bit quieter in this quarter than he has been throughout the rest of the game, but still an ever-present threat, winning a free hit there.
I mean, that's always a good sign if you're playing against him, if he's quiet. You don't want him to be involved in the game.
Brilliant takedown there by James Cunningham. Nothing given, much to the annoyance of the EG fans and the OG fans in attendance. Not sure the EG fans really registered what was going on. Been singing songs about Chris Griffiths, who isn't even here. He's out in India playing with England. Wallace just turning into trouble, but ball goes out off an Old Georgian stick. Crosser. Free hit. Was taken quickly and won by Old Georgians. Now here comes Tyndall racing forwards and Faulkner across. Now with a chance to counter-attack himself. Gittins, the receiver of his pass. Crosser on the overlap. Gittins looking to cut back, wins the free hit. No, he doesn't, goes the other way. Free hit has gone the old way of Old Georgians. As we enter the last few moments of this quarter, no additions to the scoreboard, but East Grinstead have had the better of the chances. Ollie Lander breaking forward. He's had a fantastic game so far. Gets the ball into Wallace, can't quite bring it under his control.
Ollie Lander
for Wallace in this quarter
is definitely one of the players that we want to keep hold of for the next 5 years, because he is going to be a fantastic player when he in a couple of years' time. I mean, he does not look out of place against these players he's up against, which is ideal.
Tyndall trying to attack. Hathley's cross well. Cunningham will take into Shingles. Back to ball. Kyle Marshall to Jackson. The LA's coming out. Touched on there by Messam. But away from any of his Old Georgians teammates, and the ball goes behind. Ball hit there, hits the foot of Hathley, and it's a cheap free hit to Old Georgians, which Tyndall takes. Tyndall smacks one into the circle that hits Panesar, and he's worn that really, really well. Canadian international there showing no pain whatsoever. That was a meaty ball in by Tyndall.
I mean, Tyndall doesn't hit the ball soft either. But yeah, Ball's take that. That's pretty well. He's coming off now, but yeah, fair enough.
Last whistle there goes, and it is still Old Georgians who are 4-0 up. Last 17.5 minutes of men's Premier League, men's Premier Division action taking place at St Hill this year is underway. And Old Georgians still 4-0 up, but East Grinstead had the best chances in that third quarter. I guess they'll be frustrated they didn't score, but definitely an improved performance, Ross. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely improvement. They'll be disappointed they didn't get the goal, but I think they could take a bit of pride in how they performed in that third quarter. And to be honest, in the whole game they've played really well. It's just conceded a couple of sloppy corners and like OG took advantage of it. But I think AG have played really well actually, and they're going to be quite happy with the performance.
Dangerous ball there played across by Emmett, but couldn't find a teammate. And great to see on the far side a lot of the members of the women's squad who were playing earlier have stuck around to watch this one. Great inter-club support as well. Long ball played forward out towards Henry Weir on this left-hand side. Would have needed to be about a foot taller to keep that one in. Quite an unfortunate bounce for him. Former Wimbledon player. Nice ball into the pass of Hatherley, giving him the opportunity to run down the right-hand side. He's got one player to pick out, and it's a very, very crucial intervention there by Bull, because that looked like it was headed for Gittins. Lander with the 3D skills, growing in confidence as the game goes on. Wallace down this left-hand baseline. Path to goal is blocked by OG's defenders, and they can bring it clear once again. Morton there with a miscontrol. East Grinstead tidying up. Looking dangerous once again are the hosts, looking to finish this game on a high. Themselves on the score sheet. Morton though tidying up nicely in front of his own circle. Marshall plays it across to Weir. Two defenders have been tested a lot more in this second half than they were in the first. Wallace had two golden opportunities to score in that third quarter. The first, a penalty stroke, which went right wide to the right-hand side of the goal as he shoots. And then a penalty corner that went wide to the left-hand side. Third time lucky, is it? Wallace shoots! Oh, it's just wide again. Brilliant movement in the circle, lovely pass into him. He turned away from his man. Connection with the ball was good, but it just whistled past Pinner's post. They're getting closer, East Grinstead. They're getting closer. Ball there, winning the free hit after a couple of physical challenges. OGs with a chance to play out from the back once more.
Yeah, you do feel that AG have got a goal in this game, and they're getting closer. You just need at least want them to go and be nice. You want to at least score in your last home game.
Henry Weir, Shingles. Slightly loose pass there from way behind Cunningham. Gets a cheer from the East Grinstead crowd. Long ball played across. Mawson just touches it on. Plays a 1-2 with his own goalkeeper. Don't see that too often. Again, OG is happy to try and play it out from the back. Jackson with the attempted aerial. Bounces all the way through, and James Carson deems to have impeded into Ali Clifton's space. So it's a free hit to the hosts. Lander concedes the free hit, unfortunately, this time. Here's Weir once again. Proctor, former Beeston player, winning a free hit. Attempted pass into the circle, striking a foot. Weir plays it back to Morton. Marshall. Lovely piece of control there by Proctor, under pressure from Hatherley. Goes to ground. Free hit awarded. It will be Morton once again to take. Into the path of Proctor. Proctor goes to shoot on the reverse, charged down well by Hatherley. And then Lander there to tidy up and bring it away for East Grinstead down this right-hand side. Slightly loose pass there, though. Shingles can bring it forward once again for the visitors. Nice 1-2, plays it back across. And Tom Carson can't quite pick out his brother in the middle.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's where always inexperience comes in there, just trying to make a force-up pass. But I say he's young, he'll have plenty of time to learn from that and gain that experience. But he has probably been our best player, I would say, today.
And what better chance to get that experience against a team that's top of the league. It's certainly been impressive. On the whole today, it has the youngster. And to be fair, definitely the second half has been an impressive showing from the hosts as well. Taking the game to the visitors, creating the best chances. Just need that goal now to get themselves on the score sheet, and that's an unfortunate piece of crossing there. Just frustrating. It's not quite happening in that final third for East Grinstead, but it's still 10 minutes or so to go in this one, so plenty of time for something to happen in front of goal for them as that goes against Faulkner. Quite a loud blast on the umpire's whistle there, made you think a card might be dished out, but no. Jackson. Oh, just nips away there from James Carson. James Carson had 3 glorious opportunities in the first 5 minutes. It's been quite quiet since then. Shingles once again. Nice exchange with Jackson before playing it back off to Weir. Ball. Marshall. Ed Carson. Lovely pass forwards into the path of Tom Carson. Does well to keep it in, plays it onto the foot of Cliffs outside of the circle. Free hit. To Nick Page. Page spinning this way and that, trying to find a way into the circle. Josh Barrett helping Clift out in defence. Ball hits Page's foot. Free hit is given to East Grinstead. I think the umpire quite maybe forgotten that he's left from his right. Athley into Gittins. Gittins with a chance to run forwards. Running towards the circle. Wallace, Boothroyd even, manages to get away from one under some pressure, trying to win a corner, nothing given. Ball hits a foot, good pressure there coming in from Barrett. Hathley takes it quickly. Can't find her teammates inside the circle, and OGs can once again bring it clear.
I think EGB disappointed that they couldn't play like this at the start. I think if they played like this in the first half, then I think it would be a different scoreline. There's kind of chucked everything out of the second half and nothing to lose. It's probably how they should have went in the start of the game, but it's good to see that they're still fighting away all the way to the end.
Certainly putting in a spirited and impressive display in the second half, and just to think they've got 6 players out, and Bamra going off with an ankle injury as well. We hope he's okay. Page slams that ball across. No one could get a deflection on it to turn it home. Long corner given though. Much to East Grinstead's dismay, and it's touched in. And Tyndall has a second from out of nowhere. Long corner taken quickly by Doran, fired into the circle, and Tyndall is there to deflect it home. And Old Georgians have a 5th. And that has been, I think, that's against the run of play. Really against the run of play there. East Grinstead have played so well in this final quarter and just switched off for one moment, and I think a couple of cards have been dished out here. We've got Dan Faulkner and the coach, David Beckett, on the Naughty Boys chairs. So East Grinstead down to 10 for a couple of minutes at least.
Yeah, I think Beck has got his cards for telling them what he thinks of the umpire. But going to sound really bad in that, but we have felt like we have got quite a lot of the decisions against us throughout the second half of the season, and I think it's just kind of boiled over today. And Beck just couldn't control it any longer, which you could understand, being frustrated. But yeah, as I say, we feel like it's been kind of going against us all year, and that's indoor as well, and it's just a bit of a shame that's come to that.
Still plenty to take from this performance, though. I mean, the scoreline definitely doesn't reflect certainly how the second half has gone. Can East Grinstead find a way past George Pinner in the last 6.5 minutes of this one? Clift running into trouble there in the form of Tyndall, scorer of now 2 goals in this game, taking his season's tally up to 15. Clift, nice layoff to Hathaway, to Gittins. Panesar, good to see him back on after taking that blow earlier on in this quarter. Pass towards Boothroyd, he does well to control it. Needs some help down this right-hand side. Runs into the form of Henry Weir, wins a corner. A long corner, that is, not a short corner. Mackie, take it. Back to Clift. Prosser into Panesar. Fired in towards the circle. Hits the backboards, but no touch inside the circle, so it's out for an Old Georgians ball. As we approach the last 5 minutes of this one. It's 5-0 to the visitors. 4 of those goals coming in the first half, though. A missed touch there by Doran. Despite the scoreline, despite the fact it is quite cold now, East Grinstead fans are still going. Fantastic to see.
I'm not sure that they'll feel the cold, but we certainly do up here.
East Grinstead still down to 10 as well. Faulkner off the pitch, having received a card after the 5th goal was scored. Georgians just content to knock it around the back for the moment. Doran once again into Page. Page surrounded by East Grinstead players, not really too much help. Tried to get the ball through to Morton, nothing doing. Now Gittins with a chance to run forward. He's got Suleiman and Emmett and Wallace for support. It goes back to Emmett, it's just played behind him. Tired looking pass there. At the end of, as we draw towards the end of what's been a long season. Emmett with a physical tackle on Morton, deemed to be an illegal one.
There's literally nothing in that whatsoever.
Taken down by Lander, plays in Hathaway, hasn't stopped running all game. Fantastic energy shown. Lander once again. Wallace. Wallace looking to cut inside, finds Gittins. Just need a bit of help, all Georgians' numbers have flooded back. Mackie, Gittins. Lander takes the free hits. Which look from the right place, but umpire says no. Lander takes it back to Prosser. Prosser across the Clift. East Grinstead still down to 10 players. It must have been a yellow card that Dan Faulkner received as Weir commits a foul there on Gittins. Mackie spinning this way, spinning that way. Turning again and again. Trying to barge his way past 2, wins a free hit. Wallace. Wallace gets it into the circle, it bounces up, Panesar! Bounces up onto his body. The free hit goes the way of Old Georgians.
That's another one the umpires got wrong. Not the first time today.
Ball played into Morton. Again, a quiet second half by his standards, but here's an opportunity for him to make something happen as he races forwards. but free hit goes against the Scottish international. Gittins gets past one, wins the ball back off Morton's stick.
Just run him, he's going to run him.
Gittins charging
Oh,
towards
went through it, yeah.
the circle, wins the free hit. Last 2 minutes of this one. Mackey across to Faulkner. Faulkner back on the pitch after his yellow card, running towards the circle, tries to play a pass into it. Still going is the captain. Decision goes against him. Half the players try to continue, some of them talking to the umpire. Becoming quite a fractious affair, this game, as we enter the last few seconds of it. Still 5-0 to the visitors, a scoreline that really doesn't reflect how the pattern of certainly how the second half has gone. EG have been fantastic, have really held firm and created plenty of their own chances, and going into next season definitely bodes well. Mackey looking for some support. Wins the free hit off Shingles. Prosser goes back to Faulkner. Hatherley. Faulkner. Clift crosses on the reverse, almost comes through to Gittins. Cleared away by all Georgians. Faulkner. Hatherley. Mackey now. Looking for some help, some support. Spins one way, spins another. Once again, lovely skill. Gittins trying to turn his way in towards the circle. Wins a free hit just outside of it. Panesar takes it. Goes to find the cross. Hits the foot of Shingles just outside once again. Panesar having to take it 5. Tries to work it in and hits his foot, and danger averted. You feel that that may have been the last chance for the hosts in this game. Cunningham. Back to Bull. Bull with the aerial forward. Faulkner still desperate to get something from this game. The captain takes that one down, charges towards the circle, takes a tumble after a tackle by Tyndall. Free hit awarded by the umpire. And there goes the full-time whistle, and it is congratulations to all Georgians who have taken their first men's Premier Division title with a 5-0 win here today. But the scoreline didn't really reflect the effort and the skill shown by East Grinstead, especially in that second half. They fought well, they had chances, and Ross, as I said, must bode well heading in towards next season.
Yeah, definitely. We've showed that we could compete. We just need a couple more depth players, I would say, but we'll be back fighting next season, and we'll do it the right way. We'll do it the club way. We'll bring the youth through. We won't go out and recruit all the internationals if we can. We'll build it up like what we always have done and be a proper club.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us throughout the season as well, and we will see you soon.